off the field. Moon watched as Chris Warren ran it in, and the Oilers were behind 7-3 at the half. When Moon got on the field,
now Seattle would find other ways to score. Chris Warren returning a Ron Stark punt. Warren gets some blocks, and he is going to go all the way. 59 yards for the score. But there was a question on this play.
He is a fourth-round draft pick from Ferrum College.
In Virginia.
Big Ferrum College. He was named the State College Division Offensive Player of the Year for both 1988 and 1989. He is truly a talent.
First and goal, Seahawks. Warren to the corner for the touchdown.
To wonder if the primer of last week's game against a much tougher Kansas City Chiefs defense has really helped this Seahawk team, because that drive could not have been easier.
As Williams goes in motion, and the handoff is to Warren. Warren to the outside, down the sideline, one man to beat, and Maurice Hurst or David Poole finally pushes him out of bounds.
He doesn't look like he's running very fast. He is in fact a 4.5 sprinter. With 4.5, I know I wasn't the fastest guy in the world, but that's what I ran playing wide receiver, and he weighs 220 pounds. And he almost was able to turn the corner.
Warren on the pitch, hit behind the line, shakes free, and has the first down. Scrambles to the 25-yard line. Great effort by Chris Warren.
Sacrificing himself so that emerging star, Chris Warren, number 42, could succeed in his first season as Seattle's feature running back. After 2 years of service as one of the NFL's top kick returners, Warren got the chance to prove he was a man of many talents.
From day one in training camp, I was listed as the #1 tailback, and that made me feel good because I worked hard my 2 previous years before this year. You know, finally I got the chance this year, and you know, I just had it set in my mind that once I got to the position, I wouldn't lose it. You know, a lot of teams underestimate my speed because they don't think a guy my size can run as fast as I can. Then, you know, I can break a lot of tackles also.
Give it to Warren, who breaks straight ahead, a little bit of a crease across the 40, 45, breaks a tackle. He's in open field at the 40, being chased, he gets to the 30, at the 20, but down near the 15-yard line. Chris Warren with an electrifying run to season.
Chris is a very powerful and deceptively fast type of football player, and that's what he gives you. He's got tremendous abilities, and I think he's just a puppy just starting to learn.
In 1992, Chris Warren learned well and rocketed to the head of his class.
long count by Gilbaugh, turns and gives to Warren at the 30, cuts left, 25, 20, may go, 10, 5, touchdown, Chris Warren.
Chris Warren
is trying to help on Cortez Kennedy.
I'm not sure the 2 are enough. In addition to Cortez being a large presence on the field, what about Chris Warren? Warren, a 12-yard gain today, ran for 174 yards on 36 carries.
Yeah, he did a great job of picking his way through holes and then showing the power right.
Gilbaugh came in and smartly he handed the ball off to Chris Warren. 15 yards, a touchdown, and the juggernaut Seahawks are up 17-0. You know what kind of defense they have. Hey, Seattle all of a sudden's a force. Chris Warren in.
Pitch to Warren around the left side, gets a block, 45, 40, leaps over a man, 35, inside the 30. Warren is gone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Warren looking tough today.
Quarter, Chris Warren, 22 carries, 100 yards. 4 of those 100 right there. It was
the running game taking a backseat to the passing game. Warren did not get to the century mark, but he brought his season touchdown total to 4 6-pointers in 2 games, scoring once on the ground and once through the air.
Screens it to Warren at the 40, 35, 30, gets a block, 25, breaks away, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
In a total team effort.
And make the hit or read the play right.
24-3 Seattle, the dump pass from Meyer to Chris Warren. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, 38 yards. Touchdown.
Early in the year, Bill Hitchcock handled right guard and gave Mawai time to learn, teaming with Donaldson and Ballard to create room on the right flank.
play. Chris Warren runs off left guard, and the Seahawks at the Murph look at it. Second straight week. Seattle's first possession in the third quarter. Chris Warren with a big gainer, but it's number 24, Stanley Richardson.
Except when facing Barry Sanders. How about Chris Warren? He must have saw some of that game film. Rushing for 10 yards, and then Rick Meyer flipping it to him for a 3-yard touchdown, and Seattle on top of the Bucs, 7-0.
Yeah, good day for Warren. You watch here his tackle, Ray Roberts, is going to get a good lead block on Marty Carter. Warren does a nice job of picking the hole and sliding to the outside for a good 12-yard gain. And then sometime a runner just has to do it on his own. Here Warren takes the ball, and this is a job of shoddy tackling by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as he breaks 3 tackles on his way down the field for 20 yards.
Over 100 yards in the first half. Warren goes over 1,000 yards.
Which sets up this. Chris Warren takes the pitch, gets some blocking, and does a lot on his own. Stumbling into the end zone, the refs rule it a touchdown, but
Mix in the blocking of tight ends Farrell Edmonds and Paul Green, and fullbacks Tracy Johnson and Steve Smith, number 35. And the recipe bakes up into the second best rushing attack in the NFL, averaging over 130 yards a game. The most obvious beneficiary was running back Chris Warren, who led the AFC in rushing and set a team record with 1,545 yards. Seattle turned to the one man who could carry them.
To Warren around the left side, cuts back at the 35 to the 30, breaks a tackle, 20, 15, 10. Chris Warren is tripped up and knocked out of bounds, or was he? Touchdown. No, touchdown.
Chris Warren turned in the best rushing performance in the AFC in 1994 by totaling 185 yards. The team had a league-best 266 yards rushing as the Seahawks beat the Oilers and earned their 6th and final win of the season. Chris Warren had plenty of reason to smile in 19.
These guys have a little pineapple philosophy there. Almost as difficult as ours. Here's Chris Warren picking up 9, the Seattle Seahawks. And Chris Warren of the Seahawks takes it into NFC territory and is rolled down at the 46. 3.5 to go in the third. And this time it is Warren. And they're picking up chunks through the middle, and Chris Warren takes it down to the 9-yard line.
Great season with Seattle. He had over 1,800 yards rushing, second in the league to Barry Sanders. This type of running, he's a big man, big and strong, 6'2", in his first Pro Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys. So teammates back together again.
Chris Warren on a first down play, and the Seattle Seahawks running back takes it. Amazing. And continues to be amazing. Here's Chris Warren on 1st and 10 from just outside the 10. Going in for the touchdown. Broke a Darren Woodson tackle.
And knowing him brought you your first trip to Hawaii.
Yes, and I'd like to thank Steve a lot for nominating me.
And Chris Warren has broken O.J. Simpson's record.
Marshall Faulk wants to know, what about me? He's still in the running here if he can get back in the game with 90 yards. And Warren gets congratulated.
In 1995, Warren became the first Seahawk to be named a team MVP in consecutive seasons. He gained 1,000+ yards on the ground for the 4th straight time. Finished second only to the Cowboys' Emmitt Smith in rushing touchdowns, and earned his first ever start in the Pro Bowl.
Give to Warren on the drop. Finds an opening. 25-20. Warren to the 15, down to the 10. Touchdown, Seahawks, Chris Warren. He goes 49 yards right up the middle.
In a year when the Seahawks offense enjoyed their greatest scoring and yardage productivity in nearly a decade, the centerpiece of their attack indisputably remained Chris Warren.
This guy just powers through people, and those that he can't run through, he runs around with his great speed. The second leading rusher in the AFC, but you couldn't tell anybody that in the kingdom. This guy is the best running back in all of football for what he can do.
The pitch to Chris around the right side. Gets a block from House Fowler to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Chris Warren!
Second and goal. Steve Smith leads the way for Chris Warren, and very quickly the Seahawks lead it, Tommy, 7-0.
Yeah, take another look at Steve Smith right here getting into Cornelius Bennett, and look at Bennett's head right there. Clears the way for Chris Warren.
At the 10, third and goal from the 3. This is the block, and Chris Warren gets in for the touchdown at 27-21.
To Max Strong, out of the backfield. And this actually is Warren. Warren with a chance here to go in. The AFC's leading rusher. Can he get in? Look at him stay alive, and he's in for a touchdown.
Seattle also obtained offensive line help for Chris Warren and company in the college draft when they made Boston College's Pete Kendall their first-round selection. Seattle's offense erupted to mount the greatest comeback in franchise history.
Here's the give to Warren in the middle. Finds the hole. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Chris Warren. Good play call upstairs. 3rd and 3. And Warren just runs right by everybody for 6. 57 seconds left to go in the game. Freeze looks. He ducks it to Warren. Wide open 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Chris Warren. Unbelievable. Single setback as Warren gets it on the draw. Chris to the 15, inside the 10, down to the 5. Chris keeps going. Touchdown, Seahawks, Chris Warren. Freeze will give to Warren off the left side, cuts it back to the middle. Chris spins to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Chris Warren.
Highest point total in a decade were provided by Chris Warren.
Pitch to Warren around the left side. Gets one block. Chris is going to cut back down to his right. Gets the 35-30. Warren to the 25-20. Chris Warren, touchdown, Seahawks!
Time had already scored twice for Seattle, but looking like Marcus Allen in the '84 Super Bowl. He runs 263 yards on this one play. Reverses his field, and then reverses the rate of 41.
Seattle's next possession. Rick Meyer to Chris Warren. Big hole until... Oh, look at the speed of Neil Smith.
Yeah, great job. Should say Rick Meyer. Focus. It's Chris Warren on a screen for 12 yards, and that would lead to a field goal. Second quarter, but right there, Tommy, 10 yards.
Yeah, and Chris Warren here gets caught in the crowd, and this is what he does. The longer you give a good runner the ball, the further he's going to go. And he goes, no, 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 you're not going to catch me. I'm in the end zone.
17-7 at the half, fourth quarter, 24-10.
For Seattle, Chris Warren, ready or not, refugees taking over. Right up the gut, 50 yards. His second touchdown of the year. He had 81 yards rushing in the game. Seattle cuts the lead to 20-10.
Junior Seau and Stan Humphries. The deck was stacked, and Chris Warren's been quiet all year. Gets a couple blocks. Gone. Could go all the way, but he doesn't. Galloway made the block on Kevin Ross at the 50-yard pickup.
Yeah, Joey Galloway peeling back to make that block on Kevin Ross right there. Tackling on the part of the Vikings all day. Here, Chris Warren with a nice handoff up the middle. Forces 5 missed tackles by the Vikings as he gains 24 yards. You got to wrap him.
Third quarter, Chris Warren. Just when the Bills figure they're in the game, the big fellow lumbers, missed tackles in the middle of the field. Sharks can't get him, and he's gone. 51 yards, sets up another field goal, 19-8 Seahawks.
It was a record-setting season for Chris Warren. Warren set a team standard by leading the club in rushing for the 6th straight year, and he passed Kurt Warner to become the franchise's all-time leading ball carrier. But when it came to igniting the offense...
Bowl MVP for Barcelona, got his swerve on in the rush. And speaking of swerves, Chris Warren, former 1,000-yard rusher, 4th touchdown.